Gotta take a little time to think things over. Better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. This mountain I must climb feels like a world upon my shoulders. Through the clouds I see love shine, keeps me warm as life grows colder. In my life there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. Can't stop now. I've traveled so far to change this lonely life. I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me.
Okay, so here we are. We are live.
Yay.
Yay,
Okay.
we are recording. Go ahead.
Yes. Oh, I have so many here tonight. Okay. St. Francis is here, just so everybody knows, standing behind me on my right side. And he's been in my last couple energy readings as well. So that's pretty significant that he's here because he's about following your heart. So I know he's going to be talking later.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Automata. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this light language blessing for the twins. There's a lot of twins that are feeling like a little upheaval is going on. This is to calm them a little bit. This is not everyone, but these are the ones that are going through some that feeling right now. And
if you're not here on this call right now and you are listening to it at a future time of now, this will benefit you as well. It of course, there is no such thing as time.
Right. And there's going to be some healing energy that's coming through, so all you have to do is just accept the healing from Kalina, and it'll be okay. O onde me siento hoy, mamá. We come as one. Ashundar me te unto maya kotora se tea a antokoniama. O ontorga se miato shudaga mayata korea se tishi noya makotoa e sente chikianta onaki a antamokotoya masenta tea o shinkitana po. They're showing me the eternal flame in the heart. Move to the guna and the note to the video so Koreana Kiano, Kutomatea, Suteremekiata, Antokorean Sissiomo, Unomotoa, Yatekina Shunte Maka. O Ontomekia. Mo Onashitarebatoya Mete. May you have peace in your heart and peace in your life. E antamia o ampawa I unto en shotoronto ya kita e sotomaya. What you see in love's pure light is what you receive in grace. A entomoyato. balance that within, to balance that without. Hisiki ono ona matoya me kite sindrobo toya te kienta. O onto me kisi. Uvada. Aonto kinenta amashunto ayakia. Eternal love, eternal light, eternal life. Ekentona. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
That's always a good way to start.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. I feel very calm.
Oh, good.
Oh, yay.
Yay. Wonderful. Okay. So what do you want to start with, Deb? Do you want to start with the...
What?
What do you want to start with?
Well, I'd like to talk just a little bit about, it's something that I mentioned on Facebook Live when I just went live on Twin Flames Eternal, and that is what an incredible, incredible experience I personally had in Chicago at Twin Flames Together. It was transformational. It was, I walked away a different person than I was when I got there. And I work all the time on my spirituality, and I work all the time on my, my sacred heart path is what I like to call it, in coming into balance. But one of the things that I found that was so absolutely mind-blowing is, we sat in a big, huge circle with all of us together, and through a lot of, we did have some facilitation from, the 6 different people that were there. We also had Kuthumi make a surprise appearance and really, really showed us work in unity and in fun and in love. And I got 2 hours of time with him that day that he decided to teach. And, the experience was just transformational. But when we sat in a circle and I got to know people that were on this path, it touched me so deeply because I have been through so much on my own path. And a lot of the exposure I get to people that are on this path is through Twin Flame groups. And, I'm seeing an awful lot of people in the Twin Flame groups that are really not so much focused on ascension, but they're focused on the relationship. They're focused on the guy. I want the guy. Or, I don't feel the same with anybody else. I want to be with him. And gosh, with my experiences, it's just been so totally, it's so stretching and everything else, to see the people that were there and to see some of these incredible souls that have stepped up into their truest being to take on this very difficult path. It was very inspirational, and it made me believe, again, in the twin connection, in the 2 souls, or two bodies, 1 soul connection. So it just left me with chills. And so much happened, it's almost hard you can't put it into words. To have everyone come together, that, most everyone that was there was on that high path. And to get everybody together in one place and talk about it. The other thing that I talk about, that I mentioned on the Facebook Live, but I want to mention it again, and that is what was very apparent, which is interesting, is that, we got 6 of us together who, came together to do this conference. And the truth is we had a lot of different vibrations there. We had different vibrations that were leading. And what it showed me is how vastly different places people are at. And and that, I believe we really need to take this forward, and we need to get out there, and we need to get the twins together, and we need to have these conferences. And conferences may not even be the right word. These get-togethers, these sit-ins, these, sharing experiences. And we may not do it together the next time, the 6 of us, because we reach different vibrations. However, it was a very, very helpful experience to see where different people are at and what different people are feeling and where their particular path is leading them. And there's enough people at different resonances that there's really people at all different levels to I don't want to say guide. Some of the people that were at the conference were guiding me. Well, you know what? It goes both ways.
Yeah. It really goes both ways. And what I really loved is seeing the couples that were there. That was wonderful because they were each at different levels too.
Yeah.
You've seen some that surpass certain initiations, because some of these things are initiations into a higher realms that we go through in these dimensions. We achieve these levels as we go, these angelic levels, back to our own being, to our own self. And it was amazing to see the differences in them and participating. And the one thing that I have to say that happened for my own self is, my abilities are very vast. I have all different kinds of abilities, but some of them I'm still learning. But the fact that the stuff from Atlantis that came through with the ceremonies that I performed for the couples, the union ceremonies, that was all from memory from working in the Temple of Love in Atlantis as the high priestess there. And it just came through like I didn't have to do anything. You just stepped into my higher self and boom, the stuff came through. And the same thing with the anointings with the goddesses for the women. Everything came through from memory from that lifetime. I won't say which lifetime that was. You know what it is, though. But it was just all of us, I think, every single one of us saw our own strengths and where we are in this process of ascension, but also the process of being twins. And I believe that every single person walked away from there different than when they came. And I know that also whoever I touched there or did stuff to, they had to do some shifting. That's just one of the things that I do. You know that. We did some shifting in the room with you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That was huge. Oh, and with Negla. I wish Negla was on.
No?
Yeah, go ahead, because you know what? Yeah, she's back in Egypt, but I did some huge things for her that she needed to shift before she went to Egypt, and she's actually applying them there. But yes, please go ahead and talk about yours, because yours imparts the twin flame path. It's very much something for everyone, for the consciousness of the earth as well.
And I won't get into the particulars of how this came about, but I do want to say that this was a clearing that was for the collective. And we were there a good several days after, and what we realized is our work wasn't done together. We had stuff we had to do, and Kalina's given me a lot of readings on my situation, but Negla had never looked at my situation, and she went in and she looked, and she told me some things that I was like, yes, that's exactly what we've gotten before from Kalina and, confirmed by myself. And so as she was telling me these things, I started getting this sensation of being trapped, being not free, not like being enslaved. Enslaved was a lot of what this whole energy was about with my sacred partner and situations that occur there. And this whole feeling of being trapped, and they went on with their conversation, and I just started like rocking, and I was like, oh my God, guys, I can't let this go. And they were like, okay, what's going on? And all of a sudden I found myself in what I can only describe as what are those cargo holds? And as I was in the cargo hold, I was just like, I could see a little bit of light, and I was like, all of a sudden I realized that I was terrified. And I said, guys, this is much bigger than you know. This is much, much bigger than you know. Well, Kalina came to my right side, and she was touching my back, and she said, Negla, come over here to her left side, and they were doing work on me. But all I could tell you is that I got such an incredible flash of all the slavery that had ever, the human trafficking, the sexual trafficking, but what happened is I saw it from the perspective of these people who were trapped in slavery who can't get out, not because someone doesn't want to open the door for them, but because there's reasons why they can't let go of being slaves. So Kalina, I could hear her sort of yelling. She wasn't yelling to me, but I felt it like she was yelling to me. And she's going, take the handcuffs off. I've given you the key. Take the handcuffs off. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I can't do this. And she's like, why not? And I said, this is so much bigger than you know. And I started to get the understanding that people that are in sexual slavery, there's nowhere to go. If someone let them loose, they're going to be hunted down or they're not going to be cared for and provided for once they get into a slavery position. And I can equate this with karmic relationships that people won't leave, okay? Let's talk about that. I can't go, I can't leave, my security, even if it's horrific conditions, and they end up falling into patterns of staying and getting into the drugs and getting into all that stuff to ease the pain, and then they don't want to leave, and then they become part of that life, so she had me. She was like, no, you have to take those keys off. So I was like, take those cuffs off. So I got the 2 hands cuffs off. She goes, your legs too. And I'm like, sure, okay, there's leg cuffs there is. And then I was like, oh my God, there's a cuff around my neck. And she goes, you got to take it off. And I was crying hysterically. I was hysterical. I was just shrieking and screaming. And when it was all said and done, they were like, you need to get out. And I saw the door open to the cargo holder, and it was so bright, and I couldn't even look at it. And I was like, okay, I did it. And I was, okay. And they're like, okay, jog around the room, get back here, come back here. But I'm telling you, these kind of clearings that we're doing, this is what's keeping people in those karmic relationships. It's keeping them in these situations. It's the fear of the unknown. It's the fear of, where do I go from here? The old templates are crumbling, people. They're crumbling. And the people who haven't really stepped into their own personal power and into their wholeness, they're going, oh my God, I don't know what to do with this. So this is a clearing that took place for the collective, and gosh, I was really honored. It enlightened me. It made me understand, exactly what's been happening. So I give a lot of thanks to Kalina and to Negwell both. Of course I couldn't have gone through it without them, but this is what we're all doing here together. We have work to do together, all of us. Those of us who are really here to do this work, we've got to do it. And right. And the thing is I've seen huge shifts in the collective, not just in my, particular situations, but I've seen it in the collective. Very specific examples of how this whole thing has translated into reality. So this is what you're doing here. This isn't about relationship. It isn't about boyfriends. It isn't about, I like this person better than this person. It really is about the work you came to do, your calling.
Right.
So.
And that's what I was saying in my video this week, energy video this week. That video this week was amazing, the peace video.
Yeah.
But, that's actually what I said in there. We're here to work. We're here to do these things. We're removing things from the planet. We're removing the density together, in unity. Yep. That's what we're doing. We're coming together as one, and we have to. That's what we came for, and that's our, first and foremost, that's what we came for. If the relationship is going to happen, it will happen on its own time. But we've been working since we were much younger, not even knowing it through our physical bodies. Some of us have been awake since you and I have been awake since we were young. So we kind of were already knew that we were doing things, but other people didn't because they're just going through that awakening since 2012. And a lot of the stuff that's happening now with the physical ailments and stuff, people are feeling the pains and everything. That's just because our physical bodies are releasing all of these, what do we want to call them? the situations of past, the behaviors, the templates, all that stuff through our bodies, through our physical bodies.
Program.
We stepped up and said, yep, we'll do it. And that's what Kuthumi always laughs. He goes, yeah, you guys are the ding-dongs that went there. I'm here on the other side watching. So that's what he says. Yeah, because it can be, for some people, quite painful depending on where on your body you're releasing. Some people are releasing the lower back. Some people are releasing through the head. They have headaches all the time. Some people it's through the sinuses, the shoulders. It depends on where your out part is. And then you'll notice also that some are either stuff is geared on one side or the other. So the left side is the feminine and the right side is the masculine. So which one are you releasing all the time, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's what we agreed to come here to do. And the love part comes, I would say, when you're both ready.
Mm-hmm.
You have
you
to
mean like the coming together in a you know, like if you want to say a physical relationship.
Right. You have to be ready. If you're not ready, there's going to be volcanoes and explosions and
well,
you know, and we
saw
witnessed
some of that. Yeah.
Yes, we witnessed that. Some of the couples were there. They were so brave and courageous to tell us their stories.
Yeah.
And then they were fantastic. Yes, yes, and they were in their truth, and they didn't hold anything back, which was fantastic, which means they didn't have any fear. And they also felt comfortable enough to share that with all of us because we are all on the twin flame path, and we all learn from each other. So it was a fantastic experience to be there. I do want to do it again, but I'm more of a workshop person. Like, I involved everybody. Yeah. That's the way I am, and for me, it was. I had so much energy behind me and so many that wanted to talk through me and involve the people in unity and teach that way. Like what my favorite thing was when Kuthumi took everybody outside to the tree to ground. I loved that. I absolutely loved it because he showed unification, you know, and everybody was able to return back their love to the mother as she was healing them. And it was just the most beautiful thing. And I have one of those pictures, and I can't wait because I'm writing an article on it, but I just cannot wait to share that. So for me, that I loved. I loved
when he got us dancing. A dancing was fun. I mean, it's just like,
that was fun.
Deborah, let's dance. I'm like, no, you know, we're in the middle of something. No. He seems like, come on, you know, get out of your shell. You got to bring joy. And I'm like, oh, we all dance. Yeah, we all, guys.
Oh, when we were moving like the amoeba in unity.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. It was.
My God. Yeah, I know. I know I was whispering to him. I'm like, no, Kuthumi, don't hurt me. Whatever you do, don't let me step on my feet. Don't let push me over. I'm like whispering to him while he's talking in the microphone because that's how we communicate telepathically. But I'm like, yeah. You know, and nobody knows that I'm having this conversation in my own head with him.
Right.
You know, that's just how, because I'm an open channel. I have a lot talk to me at once sometimes. There can be like 4 or 5 beings talking to me. I'm like, okay, everybody step back. And it can get pretty crazy, but that's the way it is. But it was fantastic. It was great. And
it was interesting to see the vibrations, too. I mean,
vibrations shifted.
They did, and I know a couple of people that are on here right now will contest. Well, not contest, they'll confirm. That's what I guess I meant to say, confirm. It was amazing to see. You know, we'd be in a particular level of vibration, and something would be said or something would happen, and it was like, whoo. And it was like everyone was like, whoa. What it was is it really was an exercise in mastering vibrations, observing vibrations, seeing the collective working together and how one vibration can affect everything. And so to me it was very illuminating. And I liked the connection. You know, there was someone there that I made a connection with, and I could just feel, you know, what she was thinking, and she knew what I was thinking. And it was like, that's the way we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be in unity. We're supposed to feel what each other's feeling or sense each other's thoughts. And it was very special. It was very sacred.
Right, and you know what I loved is that I loved, you know, I have to keep myself at such an extremely high vibration for the light language. Yeah. It has to be really, really high. I have actually channeled from the 144th chakra So I have to be, and then I'm like floating all the time. So when people say, oh, you just need to ground, I'm like, I know I have to ground. I know all the things I have to do, but my vibration has to be so high because I have to be really light, and I'm in that light body, and I have to be to access the vibrations and the sound and light codes that are coming in like that in such a high speed. That for me, just sitting in the room with the different vibrations, I was trying to focus on the open heart centeredness to, sending out the love, but at the same time keeping myself really high. But it was difficult for me, but it was a challenge, and I knew it was going to be because I'm never around that many people unless I'm kind of forced to have to be. And for that period of time, trying to keep a high vibration for that long in one room, that's what I had to keep stepping out just to breathe. And it was nothing against anyone, but it's for me, it was a learning experience, and I have to, that's something that I have to work on even more.
Well, and that's why I see.
But I loved when I saw some of the couples flop to opposite sides of the room because you knew that they were helping balance the energy. Right. And they knew exactly what to do, and it was fantastic.
They knew what they were doing.
Yes, and I too. I was like, they're balancing the energy in here, and I thank them for doing that. Appreciate that. And there was a lot of transmuters there too that were assisting because you and I came in early too. You cleared the airport for when I arrived while I was working on the hotel and the land.
Thank you so much.
Yes, but thank you everyone. Yes, thank you to everyone out there. You know who you are that came and was transmuting this energy and transcending it because it really needed to be done, not just for us, but also for that area.
It was a really heavy vibration area. It was when we left, it was like...
It was light.
It was very... But what I wanted to say is, in the future, what I'd like to do is some definite workshops where we actually get in and we do a lot more breakout sessions and probably fewer people, just not fewer people. The number of participants I think was good. I think we just probably had too many chiefs, and it was just. I think I would probably just want to do fewer facilitators. That's all, and more of a workshop format, but. Oh, my God, I loved everybody, and I loved every one of the presenters, too. I mean, we're all together, but we're doing different things, and so that's probably where we'll head with that. But, But
we're all in this together. We're all in this because we're learning to be one. We're learning to come back as one. We're coming back in unity, and that's the goal. That's the ascension goal, is to ascend everyone into their highest being, into their highest light, and back to their sacred heart. That is the hugest part for everyone in ascension, every single soul. So though some people don't like to talk about that part for the twin flames, thinking it's only about coming together and the love part, it's not. It is about ascension. You're ascending more rapidly together, but you're also doing this work through your physical body as well. So very important.
And that's where
that people understand that.
Yeah, that's where the focus on, self is. It's not selfish, but it is self and getting to know the self that is of itself aside from another. And to be able to let go of all of the templated blocks and everything that have been accumulated over time through the course of, the lineage and all of that, to bring that particular body, if you will, or template, or if you want to just call it the vehicle, all of the DNA and all that, back into alignment with love without having the blocks to it. Once you get to that place, then you really become love, and of course you draw back to you that which is you, which is really everybody. It's really everyone you start pulling back to you. But you pull it back at the closest vibration to you first, and then, it goes from there as others, move up in vibration or move to that level of vibration that brings them all. So we're all kind of making this journey back to one, and that's what it's really all about. So
Yes. All right. So it's 9:30.
Yes.
You want to open the lines?
Yes.
Well, I do. Let's go, Flamers.
Oh, okay. He's taking over. Kuthumi? We can go ahead and take calls. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, Kuthumi?
I am very well. You have your glass of wine, I see. Yes, where's your walnuts?
Yes, no walnuts though. My walnuts are in the cupboard.
It's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
But my mind is good today.
I wish to speak to the flamers.
Okay. Well, does that mean you're taking over now?
Yes. Don't you worry. You can sit back and listen.
Oh, thanks. Well, that means we can just relax and enjoy ourselves. Like, hopefully everybody else will.
Well,
all right. Do we want to go ahead and take calls then?
Yes. Yes.
Are we ready?
Don't pick it to me. Let me talk.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can remember how to do this. Gosh, it's been a while. We're going to go into Q&A mode. Once I go into Q&A mode, you hit *6 to put yourself in the queue, and then hopefully we have a lot of people who want to talk to us and each other. And here we go. Question and answer. One moment. Okay, Q&A session is started, and the first people that get in the queue are the first people that get to ask a question or get to talk. So right now, nobody. Come on, people. We got a caller. We got a caller. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right, we're going to go ahead. Now, this person just says wireless caller, so it's a area code. Oh, my gosh, we got 3. We got 3 wireless callers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to pick this one. Will you quit playing? She's taking my mouse.
I'm sorry.
She's on Team Viewer with me, and you're taking my mouse, so just stop it.
That wasn't me, I swear to God.
Hey, quit taking my mouse. I got to quit.
It's not me.
Okay, we've got wireless caller 440. So, hello, you're live with Debbie and Kalina. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, okay.
Who
So
is
you can
it?
hear me. So, should I ask my question?
Well,
yeah. Are you in
Ohio?
Ohio?
Do you want to give us a first name, or are you?
I know that area code because I'm from Ohio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. I'm in the Cleveland area.
Yep, I'm up in that area, kind of. Go ahead, ask your question.
Okay, I just wanted to first thank you guys so much for doing this. I can't wait to re-listen to it. My question is, there's a big shift now with me and my twin flame, and I know that people have gone through it or will go through it, where in the next week or so he's having a baby. My parents pretty much are going to restrict me from seeing him in person. But at the same time, so I'm worried about that. But at the same time, I still feel like we're young, that there's still hope for us. But I just don't know how that's going to look. Just any advice you would have.
Okay.
Kalina?
About situations like this.
Yeah.
Yes. Can I ask? You said you're young. Are you? How young are you?
24. He's 23.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as you know, as you go through the process, most of the twins go through karmic relationships first because there are things that we have to release and learn from those relationships. Don't give up, but also don't stop living your life. There's a lot of people that are out there that are going to tell you, don't get involved with someone else at this time because you'll never get back together with them, or you won't get back together until another lifetime. But you're so young right now that I feel, and I'm just going to tell you what I feel, what's coming through, is that your connection in this lifetime is only just beginning, actually, is what they're saying, okay? I don't understand the whole parents not allowing you to see someone because you're of the age that you are. You're an independent soul, and it is your own free choice to see this person. So that, to me, they're actually saying it is your free choice. But you have to remember that sometimes these babies that come in too are called spirit children. Right.
I know she's a rainbow kid. I know that for a fact.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but spirit children many times are considered the child between the twins. Though they may be coming in a different biological person, many times it is the twins' baby. A lot of the children that are coming in now are actually called diamond children. So, hold on. I'm just hearing what they're saying. And I'm going to ask you something. Through your process, how long ago did you guys meet?
Around like July 8th, 6th, 7th of 2014. So it's been a little bit more than 3 years. And I do know my twin has told me that this like girl he's having is like so special.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you another question. When you've been face to face with him, yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes, they showed me face to face, but I just have to always ask. When you're with him, do you feel like you're home with him?
The best feeling. I mean, I'm like connected to heaven, like when I'm with him. Like words don't describe it.
Good. Okay. When you feel like you're home with him, like you want to just crawl inside that person and go to sleep, that to me is the sign of the twin. Okay? There's no other person you want to be. You just want to like be inside them and just like fall asleep. That to me is how I always see it and feel it. Don't give up. Have faith in this process, but you have to remember that everybody has selected things on their path. You surrender to your path, okay? And everything happens in divine timing, in perfect timing. So what's happening right now for him and for you is already planned, okay? Mm-hmm. Trust in the plan that you created. It's called your blueprint. It's called your life map. Some people call it life map. I call it the blueprint because that is actually what it is. And everything that is happening to you is happening for a reason, okay? Mm-hmm. You have to go through certain parts of this process to experience things. You have to experience duality. You have to experience polarity in this. You have to experience the things that you have to release, all of this purging that's going on. It's part of the... Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I've got someone talking behind me at the same time. Just a minute. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I got St. Francis saying that you have to follow your heart. So I don't know if you saw the last video that I did, but he's in there talking about following the heart for the twins. Okay? Stay in that heart center. Stay in that sacred space. Okay? In your heart. Don't go into the ego. Don't try and fight what's happening. Just allow things to be. Everything will fall into place. And Kuthumi wants to talk, so I'm going to allow him to come through. So if you can just give me a minute. Hello, Cleveland. I'm going to call her Cleveland because she did not say her name, and that's okay. Don't say your name if you cannot, but I will call you Cleveland. So, may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How are you feeling in your heart right now because of the situation with your twin?
Beyond, I'm surrendered, but beyond confused and muddled, like so much, like, I don't know, battling and going on because of like what just happened the other day with my parents and with the kid being born. It's like we're meant to be separated. I don't know what is going on. I just feel like so lost.
And you feel like you're confused right now.
Oh my God,
so,
yes.
I want you to step back and look at your own life, okay? I want you to look at yourself. When you're feeling those emotions, it's because you haven't cleared things yourself. Is this making sense yet? You have to face these things because this is a karmic situation for both of you. You have your own issues that stem from past life to this life that must be removed. You must go into the emotions of this and you face it and you go through the clearing process. You must allow things to happen and you must remember to stay in the heart, not the head. Because many times do you feel anger? Let me ask you that.
Towards my parents, oh yeah, and him and the situation,
right.
oh yeah.
Right. So if you feel anger, you're not coming from your sacred heart. That's all from the ego. That is from fear. And I'm going to say right now, because Kalina just said to me, the fear base is the fear of not coming together. And it is the fear that you cannot control your situation. Is that correct?
Beyond correct. And that's always been my, since I met him, my biggest fear is not coming together.
Right, and that is all from not being able to control. And control is part of ego. So you're still living in ego, my dear. You're not living from the heart center. This is your part of learning this process, and this is your part of letting these things go. These are your things that you have to clear for your own soul, but also for the consciousness of Earth, okay? There are behaviors, there are templates, there are all these things with the process that you must go through and release from your bodies, not just the physical body, the mental body, the spirit body, all of the bodies. They must be cleared. You must be cleared to become whole and step into your authentic self before you can actually be together with the twin. But he has to go through his own process as well. Now, as far as the parents, my dear, they are going on their own journey. They are trying to control you. Do you see that? Because they are stepped into their own fear. The fear of what's going to happen to her if she only focuses on this one person for the rest of her life, and he has a child now, and he may never come back into her life. They are sitting in fear, but their fear is also a love-based fear, if that makes sense.
I've heard that before.
They don't want you to hurt, my dear. But you must remember, every soul's journey is their own, okay? You can listen to your parents to a point, but you are an adult, my dear. This is your journey. This is your soul's journey, and you have free choice. So don't step into anger with them. You must understand that they love you. They're trying to protect you, but they're trying to protect you in a controlling manner. They're going through their own process that they have to release as well. All right. This is the kind of work where you, if you cannot do this stuff, you get outside help to help you with these releases. And all I can say is it is part of your process, my dear. Have faith in what holds in your sacred heart, which is the key to the answers, which is your blueprint, that everything you planned is going to happen step by step, and you must just allow it. Don't try to go in the head, in your ego, and control things and change them from the ego point. When you try to control things, you're not following your plan. Did you watch Kalina's video this week?
I was going to, but then this call happened.
I
always look forward to it. I always put it off because it's so good always. So
it's okay. In that video, if you step aside and watch it, there is a part in there where the angels take over and they go over plan A and plan B. Plan A, where you're living in the sacred heart, where you follow the plan that you made before you came. Or plan B, living in the ego. Watch the video, you'll understand. Things will come together in divine time. And right now, with all of the work that you must do on yourself and the work he must do on his self, you're not ready. It's as clear as that. It's as simple as that. And you have to accept it. You must acknowledge it and you must accept it. You have to do the inner work. Okay?
Okay.
Can I add a little something? I would like to add a little something. Oh,
no.
Stop it. Oh, stop it.
Of course you can, Deb. Go.
I just want to add some encouragement on this path. You know, this is really about you becoming your highest you. And as long as you are living from a state where the other person and their circumstances and their connections and their uncovering of what they've got going on, as long as that's your central focus, you can't know yourself. You know, they say know thyself. You are on a process where you're going to get to know the beautiful, beautiful being that you are, the loving being that you are, the capable being that you are. You're going to remove all of the blocks that you've got in your programming that tell you you're not acceptable in this way and that way. You're going to step into that beautiful knowing of yourself, and you're going to express yourself creatively and lovingly and find love all around you. And that is what this whole process is about. And then when you get to that place is when the beautiful connection comes with that divine masculine. So the process is really about you getting to know the beautiful you that you are. And trust me, I have been on this process for a while, and as I've stepped into this, it makes me feel like soaring. You know, suddenly it's like, really, twin who? You know, I mean, it's like that's not what this is really about. In all of it is this just in tremendous love we gain for the person, the being that we are, and all those beings that are around us, and all of the connections that we have, like we're having right now. It becomes so powerful that the other starts to lose like its importance, because that's what we're all doing here. We're here to see the one as each individual beautiful piece of rainbow that we are. So, you know that you are loved and you are guided this whole way. You know, trust the guidance that's with you. It will bring you the teachers that you need. It will bring you the experiences that you need. You may, if you were to fixate on this one person, you may miss out on some of the most incredible experiences. I spent 20 years in a marriage, 20 years. I have 2 beautiful children. And if I had not done that, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen to you, and that, please, I'm not saying that to anyone, but I'm saying those experiences made me who I am, you know? Mm-hmm. So, you know, bless your life and your situation the way it is. Stand in your power with your parents. You have a choice. You don't have to listen to them. They can't ban you from seeing him. You can allow them to.
Have.
Well, how can they? How can they ban you from seeing him? Ah, okay.
Wait, I didn't hear that. What did you say? I didn't hear that.
Money.
Money. Right.
That would be an energy block.
Yeah, there's an energy block, and so this is where it starts you on your whole adventure. Oh, really? So you're going to take the money? Well, guess what? I'm going to stand in my own power from money, and I'm going to become independent. And I'm going to do. See, so much of this catapults you. It's the launching pad to send you to where you're going. So thank them. Thank them. Thank you so much for the role you're playing in my life. You know, and you're going to be great. You're going to have an amazing, amazing life. So, you know, try to do some breathing and clearing, and it's a difficult situation that you're in right now, but you're going to do just fine.
Right, but trust.
Yeah,
trust.
It's a hard one.
Trust the process. You planned it before you came, so trust your own plan.
Yep. Whatever that is. And do you know, in terms of for me or anyone, about where to go for? I already did an energy clearing thing this summer that was huge, but you know, for like a further one.
Well, Kalina does all kinds of work. She does all kinds of clearing. Mm-hmm. She does that, you know, pretty much for what she does. It's if you want more information on her, KalinaMalnar.com is her website, which talks about she is probably singly, hands down, probably the best that I've ever had clearing with. And, you know, I work with people more on different, but seriously, I mean, I would not have made it this far on my path if it wasn't for her. That's why we're on this journey together. You know, there's certain things. It's like when we were in Chicago, I was there holding space for her and helping her physically navigate, you know, being in the physical environment, and I was her helper. And I have no problem with that at all because she has done so much for me. I am a different person because of meeting her. So I'm the first one to say, hey, if you need someone to work with, Kalina's a great person. That's not to say, but you have to go with what's in your own knowing, too. You have to, the right teacher comes to you. The right person comes before you. You know who you're supposed to work with. You just you watch video and you go, I got to talk to that person. I've had 2 or 3 people. I had someone I talked to when we were in Chicago. I did a session with someone in Taiwan. She says, I saw your video. She said, you were the one I had to talk to. Okay, well, that happens. But,
but you know what? If you want to, because you live so close to me, because normally all of my stuff is on Skype, but in person, stuff's very powerful, isn't that, Deb?
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure some of the people that are on here right now would attest to that, because we've got people on here that were in the Chicago, Chicago Twin Flame together.
I did a lot of stuff with them.
Oh, we had some major shift. So
but if you want to get together in person, you can always come to me here too. So I
would love that. I idolize you.
Don't idolize me. That's sweet, but I'm just a being that is so sweet. You're sweet. So just go to my website and send me an email through the website, okay? And we'll figure everything out if you want to do that, okay?
We really appreciate you calling in.
Of course. Thank you guys beyond so much, and thank you, Master Kuthumi and St. Francis.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Everything's okay. You're going to be okay. Okay. We love you.
I'm
you too.
To press the little X. Or maybe I press this, the mute. I don't want to cut you off. There's a little X, and I don't know if that means goodbye or if that means you're off the air.
Yeah, that's the goodbye. That's the disconnect.
She goes back to the microphone. No, I'm going to do, okay, I hit the microphone. All right, so now we've got another caller. Let's see. Go ahead and pick one. Karina.
Me? Okay.
Yeah. Ready? Okay.
Stacey. I think it's Stacey.
Yeah? This is Stacey.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Go on.
I'm sorry?
Go on.
We're just waiting. Sorry.
Well, this is my first time on the show and my first time of listening, so I'm really enjoying it, and I thank you very much for what you're doing.
Well, welcome. Glad to have you on with us.
Thank you. I came into learning about twin flames. It's like it came to me all of a sudden one day back in January of this year. And so I've been doing a lot of research, and it's just like been this huge calling, and I've never really understood why, but I just kept researching and researching. And, well, to make a long story short, I have reconnected with someone, and it's like a flower blooming. I can our connection is far beyond of anything I've ever experienced. Yeah. And
I'm just giggling.
We know what you mean.
And he and I talk about this all the time. And I guess one of the things that I want to know about is what's the difference between like a twin flame and a soulmate, and how do you know? And it's like with you, like we're connecting far beyond just the regular relationships. It's also including that spiritual aspect of it.
Well, there's a couple things. There's a couple things that I have experienced what's also in my knowing, but like I just said to the last caller, this person, when you're with them, you feel like you're home. You literally feel like you're home, and you want to crawl inside of them and just go to sleep. And it's just that.
It's like when you're together,
that
time and space don't exist. Time doesn't matter.
Yeah. Exactly, and it's like an all-encompassing love that you just become one being, that one love, and you just, like I said, you just want to crawl inside and just go to sleep, and just know that everything is fine.
Okay.
Everything is all right.
And everything is
the highest love. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The other thing is that I have experienced, and I talked about this in Chicago, was the connection of not a physical sex. it's the cosmic orgasm where you connect with this person, and you connect with the crown chakra, and you connect with the third eye, the heart chakra, and then the solar plexus. Yes. And it is the hugest, and it happens so quickly, but you connect those chakras, and it takes you up so high in this feeling of love and joy and just and light and almost like you're at 0 point. It is like 0 point because you're just nothingness. And then you have this full body orgasm that is just so out of this world, mind blowing, that you will never have with physical sex. It's a cosmic orgasm, and you're only going to experience this with your twin.
Wow. And I cry because, yeah, it's like, I guess it's one of those things you just know. I mean, everything just comes together, and it's just amazing how everything has come together. It's unexplainable. And mind-boggling. Like, I've been divorced for 5 years, so I haven't really dated anyone seriously for quite a while. But it's like once he came along, and I mean, we've known each other for about 3 years. And when we first met, he was happily married. Well, now that we've reconnected, he is no longer married and is free. And it's like, I don't know. It's
He's
different.
Getting the happy story.
Yes, it sounds like you're both on. You're surrendering to your surrendering. You're on your path, but you're surrendering to your blueprint. Is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
You're trusting.
Curiosity.
We've gone through our. I'm sorry.
No, I just have a question. On the scale of 1 to 10, I mean, obviously you left your marriage. How many years ago you said?
5.
Okay. On the scale of 1 to 10, how much spiritual work have you done on clearing the obstacles you have to love? I mean, like literally clearing away like blocks that you have, triggers that you have, things of that nature. Have you done a lot of that work?
Yes, I have. And that's one of the things that I've really been working on the past year.
There you go.
Is trying to forgive myself on things that I had no control over, as well as going into like the spiritual aspect of life and learning more on that part. And that's really helped open me up to who I am now.
Right.
And it's kind of like I'm listening to my higher self, and my higher self was like, here, read about twin flames. And I'm like, what are twin flames? I've heard about
that ought to tell you something right there, because if your inner guidance is telling you to look at something and you're listening, it means that you're tuned in.
Right. Absolutely.
Now, there's an awful lot of information. Well, I was going to say there's an awful lot of information out there, and the test is as you're reading and as you're listening, are you tuning in and saying, this resonates with me, this doesn't resonate with me, this resonates with me, this doesn't, because you are the judge of what resonates with you, and the closer you are to only really listening to what your heart tells you, actually the further along you are. You start saying, you know what? Oh, I'll listen to this maybe for a little while, but, you know, I already know this in my heart. Or you'll start reading something and you'll go, oh, you know what? I've gotten that already. You start moving in that direction is what I'm saying. So if you're in that place, more than likely, you know, what I guess I'm cautioning, and this is what I'm being kind of guided to tell you, is don't buy into all the stages and the phases and the, you know, they're going to, if you go out there and you read too much, believe me, they might steer you on courses that have you going off into tangents on your relationship that you don't need to go on.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? This is runner, teacher, blah, blah, blah. You stay in your heart, you stay in your knowing, you listen to your inner guidance, you keep your heart open. When you have experiences that trigger you, you go in and you know, this is me, this is mine, I need to clear it, I need to go on, and you bring yourself closer to union, you know, in that way. But I'm being told very strongly, don't buy into a lot of the garbage that they sell out there on Twin Flame stuff, because you don't have to go through that stuff. Okay.
That's why I appreciate y'all, because, I mean, your show is free, and that right there tells me a lot.
I have to do this.
We're here to help.
Yeah, it's like you're willing to share your knowledge, and I very much appreciate that. So.
Well, we like that, and we would love if we could do like conferences and stuff free. But usually, if we do a conference or whatever, we need to get there. But that's what it's about. It's just getting there, right? Right. It's like we just need to get there. But yeah.
So the conference we didn't even cover. It didn't cover our expenses. So it's not like we're making money from this. We're here to help and service.
Now, I will say, I'm a web designer by trade, and that's what I do. So I have a career. That's what I do. I mean, this is my second career. I do this full time as well as the other, because I have my own Sacred Heart path, and of course I'm trying to run a business at the same time. But with Kalina, this is what she does for a living. So, she does, and anyone that's listening, please, if you need help with this, she's an excellent person to help you. So I highly, highly recommend that she does give a lot of her time. Gosh, I don't know anyone that does more free videos, she does more videos, more readings, more, poems, channeling, and I encourage you, listen, support her in that work, because this is her calling. This is what she does, and she needs to put food on the table. So I'm going to just say that for you, Kalina. You're amazing. I serve her. I literally serve her. And I don't have a problem saying that. I noticed that when we were in Chicago. It's like I just wanted to make her stay comfortable. I just wanted to make her feel comfortable energetically and stuff. It's like I came in to be her side gal, and I feel very protective of her. I know. And I get a lot of rewards for that. I mean, I get to talk to Kuthumi for hours on end sometimes, and there's so many blessings with that. But seriously, she's amazing. And I just have to stop and say that. If I had to choose her, my twin, I would choose her. Hands down. I just want you to know.
God. What about me, Deborah?
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, I hope we are able to answer your question tonight. We have lots of callers in the queue there.
Yes, we got callers.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. And have a good night.
Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. All right. Let's go to Michelle. Okay, Michelle. Hi. Hi.
Oh, hello.
We have a name for Michelle. Most people are like, wireless caller. Hello, Michelle.
This is Michelle. I don't really have anything to ask. I just miss you guys. I just wanted to say hi.
Aww. We're glad to have you on. Well, tell us, why don't you share? What did you gain out of the weekend? I mean, we sat here and talked about what we gained. I mean, surely you have something to say.
I don't even know what to say. I just gathered so much from everybody's stories that I just resonated so much with everything that everyone was saying, and it just felt so amazing to know that I'm not crazy and it's not all in my head. And I actually have people.
What'd you say, Kuthumi?
I would beg to differ.
Beg to differ about what?
That I'm crazy.
All of you.
Crazy in love, I guess.
He's
saying a booger. Go on, Michelle.
He thinks we're all crazy, but he believes in twins.
Yes.
Yes. I have a twin too. Go on.
Right. We're all in the same together. I don't know. I mean, I went in and really not having any idea what to expect. But I just came out feeling like I came out just feeling like I had known you guys like for so long, and just like it was just crazy how like close we all were, like instantly, like I felt like I could talk to all of you about anything. And I know I had quite a few vulnerable moments over the weekend, and I wasn't embarrassed. I wasn't ashamed. I knew all of you just understood where I was coming from, and there was no judgment, and I just felt completely supported. It was an amazing weekend.
I love to hear that. That makes me so joyously happy. Because I felt
it was nice to see you. It was nice to see you open up too.
Yeah, I definitely felt like a different person by the end of the weekend, because I felt like in the first night when we went around and like introduced ourselves and told our stories, I felt like I probably said the least out of everybody. And then
me too.
Once everyone started.
Same way, Michelle. I felt the same. I was like, I'm a twin. Okay, next.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I guess I'm sure you all know what I'm going through, so I didn't really feel like I had to say anything. But as the weekend went on, I felt more and more comfortable to share, just because it was just the energy of the whole weekend, you know. You just wanted to share and be open with everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Because we know what they're showing me right now is that when in the beginning you were a little entrapped in your own emotions and your own feelings, and a little bit in insecurity is what they're saying. And by the time, the time went on, the next day, like I'd say they're showing me like about a few hours into the next day, you started feeling more comfortable and at ease and more that you can start sharing. Because your energy was everybody's energy was different, and you were just a little nervous, but you also you come in with such a light, sweet heart.
Yeah.
And
beautiful soul.
And very angelic energy.
Thank you.
And you came in with your eyes so wide, like you wanted to be there, you wanted to learn, you wanted to share, but you were just entrapped in your own that insecurity. But you broke out of that shell by the time.
Well, and part of my insecurity was, I don't know if you remember, but my twin lives in Chicago, and we had planned on seeing each other, and then, separation happened, and so that was a whole other thing that I was dealing with, was being in Chicago, knowing that I was in his city, and that I wouldn't say he didn't want to see me, wasn't ready to see me, So that was just a whole other thing I was dealing with, along with everything else.
That's hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We all go through that stuff.
You
but
survived, though.
Trust in that process.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you survived. You're still alive. I know. That's why I say to Deb, I said, Deb, I've known of mine since I was 14 or 15, and I'm 50 now, and I'm still alive. So those of you that have only been going through this for 5-10 years or whatever, stop saying, I can't take this anymore.
Right.
I've only been going through this for 9 months, so I'm still in the beginning myself. Yeah.
Okay.
She's the baby.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you want to know what, though? Right there, that's what I'm talking about. Here you were. Now, you're again, one of the people I'm talking about. I could say this about every single one of the people that was there. You were sitting there in the city of your twin, and you focused on you. You did your work instead of flipping out and worrying about him. I mean, you might have been worrying about that, but you came back into your own self, and you showed up in the room with all of us. And what you realized is you're one with all of us. So even though you might not be one with him in that particular time space, you were one with us, and it was kind of like you knew yourself. You know
exactly.
what
I mean? Yeah, definitely. By the end of the weekend, it was just crazy.
Well, if you were there, he was there. So
I definitely felt him.
Yeah. I think we all felt our sacred partners there.
The energy was very strong.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of the lessons came from, and I enjoy being able to speak very openly. I can't always do that, but I was very open, and I appreciated that opportunity. And yes, my twin spoke through me. So those lessons were right there for everybody. And so your twin, everybody's twins were there, and because we were there. So it was lovely. It was beautiful. Yeah. Hope we get a chance to do it again, Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
So anything you wanted to say, anything you want to tell anyone, anything you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say that for anyone that questions anything, like, it's the real deal. Like, you too are the real deal. Like, I'm sure there's some people that have got to be skeptical, like, you know, but it's definitely real. I definitely feel a real connection, and I trust you guys. I consider you guys my friends now.
Oh, well, you're definitely a friend. No,
you're a family.
You're family.
Yeah,
family,
that's true.
Yeah. Thank you for calling in, Michelle. We love you.
Oh, sure.
All right.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Right. Love you too.
All right. Well, we'll go on to the next caller, and I'm gonna hit the microphone. I don't want to disconnect you. I love you too much to disconnect you. Okay, here you go.
Okay.
All right, so we're going on to the next person's wireless caller. I probably get an area code once I hit pick. It's 512 area code. You are on the air with Kalina and Debbie.
Hi.
Hello.
This is Jennifer Nettles. How are you guys
Jennifer.
doing?
Hi,
Jennifer. God, I love you guys so much.
Oh, Jennifer, we love you too. And I've been enjoying seeing your posts and stuff on Facebook, and just, you know, it's just so good. I love us all having that connection because we're still together, kind of, you know.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, my question is one of the ones that didn't get answered, and it could be big, it could be nothing. I want to know about the 144,000 that's mentioned in the Bible. If that has anything to do with twins, or if it's just something that's just something I don't need to think about. But
that's Kalina. That's a Kalina question.
It's been childhood for me that I've been wondering about that. It's not just something I ran into on the twin flame thing. It's like childhood.
Me too. So I'm interested in the answer too, Jennifer.
Well, okay. So the 144,000, from my knowing, and also because I am from Venus, is the 144,000 were volunteers that came to help Sanat Kumar 10,000 years ago raise the vibrations on the earth, trying to return the Christ consciousness, which is what is going on right now. Now, were those twin flames? All I've ever revealed is that they were all volunteers. They came in twos, okay? They came in twos. And what they show is like twos as a partnership, what they show me. Mm-hmm. But each of them scattered over the entire earth in different placements, because everything had to be strategically planned, just as it's happening now. But now there's so much more than 144,000 twin flames, okay? There's a huge difference. The 144,000, I've got Kuthumi talking to me in the background at the same time, are like parts of the original angelic beings that came in to hold this higher light frequency, a higher light vibration within their bodies, and that higher Christ consciousness, to try and ground that back into earth and try and raise that vibration back into the people that were on the earth at that time. Hold on. He's just saying 144,000 souls. There's so much written out there about the 144,000 being twin flames. Now, there's one thing I'm going to tell you. Kuthumi just said, he said, I challenge you to find 144,000 with the term twin flames in any Bible.
I haven't.
Which Bible do you see it in?
I don't see it in the Bible at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So where do you feel that came from? That's the thing. A lot of things are being changed and interpreted by other people. That's not in full truth. Okay. And from what they continue to tell me is it's 144,000 souls of volunteers because Sanat Kumara was coming down by himself as he made his etheric retreat over the earth to raise the Christ consciousness again. And they came and they volunteered at the last minute to come in and help assist him. So, hold on, I'm just trying to listen, and I'm getting visions at the same time. And what I actually see is the souls coming down angelically and being positioned in all these places and the ley lines and the grids and all of these things, just like everybody is now, just like the twin flames are. But also there's gatekeepers and light workers, there's way showers. There's so many of us all over the planet that are in certain positions for everything that we're doing to raise the consciousness on this earth, to raise this vibration of love, to clear the earth's consciousness. But also I'm going to do a video on the Lion's Gate and the eclipse that's coming, because there are some things that the twin flames need to do during that time. And I have gotten a download on that, so I'm going to do a video on that, because a lot of it is kind of like some of the things that they did back then.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
I am currently feeling something going on right now, and that's I don't have words for whatever is around me, or I feel the energy. Something is calming me, or it's around me.
It's okay. Isin taruno makiano ushudare meteya akaisa. I have a message for you from light language, and it's coming through my high heart to you. So you have an angel there with you at the moment, and this is something that you need, okay? All right. You're that's balancing a chakra of yours. You're off balance there for something. There's an angel with hands on your back, your upper shoulders there. This is just sound healing that they do through me. There's something that you need, okay?
Okay.
Something that you're going through. You're like at the edge of a shift, they're saying. They're showing you at the edge of a shift, but you've been waiting to shift further into it, and you haven't. Something's been holding you back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I might have discovered it, and I'm trying to let it go. I think I fear not talking to my twin again, and I'm trying not to, and my mind's helping me. It's okay. And I had a bad dream about it last night, and I am trying to do it, and
It's all right. It's all right.
I think that might be it.
That's why the angel behind you. Okay, that's Chamuel behind you. So this is some of the stuff that I do in my sessions, and they're doing this on you because you need this right now, because you're just at this edge of this shift, but you're grasping onto something, and they just wanted to do this for you. So just let me have them finish. This may also benefit some of the other people that are listening, or whoever listens to this video too, because the sound healing works for everyone. This is the kina ono kona. Halakenta. Oshapetiana unako. Namaste. Okay. Their energy is backing up. So, still that happened, and we were talking about the 144,000. Sorry about that, but as far as yeah, go on.
No, thank you for that. That was really neat. Okay.
That was the Syrian.
There with 144 in the childhood stuff. It just was, I was drawn to it, and the twin flame made me think of it more because I saw references to it. But it's been all my life, and I think possibly I'm doing something in a dream state, or maybe another dimension with that, or something. But I have seen myself building some kind of tower or something in my dreams. I don't know.
Well, just know it's the 144,000 are like these. They're original souls that descended from Venus to assist with raising that Christ consciousness.
Okay.
So, and you may be one of them.
That is what I was going to say. That is exactly what I was going to interrupt and say.
And it could be why you're connecting with them. Could be why you're connecting with them. I'm from Venus, so I do know a lot more than I can say right now. But I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for all of that. Could not have didn't expect any of that. Like Michelle, I wanted to say hi, and I love you guys. And you guys knew I had that question anyway, so that wasn't a surprise.
Love you too.
The whole thing was amazing. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
So glad you joined us tonight. Thank you so much. Thanks for calling in, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Love you, girl. We'll see you on Facebook again, of course. Okay. I love you.
Bye, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Bye. All right. We have another caller. And we have some space on the queue, too. We've got a couple people, but if you have something that you want to say, the queue's not super busy, so if you wanna get in line, it's *6. So you probably will make it on the air, hopefully. All right. So the next call is, now the call says Regina. I'm not sure if it's a Regina or not. I've learned that that's not always the case, but
yeah.
All right. So who are we speaking with? This is Debbie and Kalina. You're on the air with us.
Hi.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Is this Regina?
This is Regina.
All right.
Hello.
Hi. This is my first time on the call, and I just wanted to thank you for having it. I really didn't know what to expect, but I'm really loving it. Thank you.
Oh, that makes me happy. There's nothing I'd rather do on a Friday night, so thank you so much for being here.
I know. I stopped watching a movie so I can hop on the call.
Wow.
Oh, good. What's your question, Regina?
My question is, first of all, I want to say that it was really funny when you said, it's your twin flame when you feel at home, like you just want to crawl inside their body and like go to sleep and you'll be completely happy. And it's funny because I used to say that to him all the time. I used to say, can we get it surgically attached? So, and I've just always felt that way, but I've never felt that way ever before in my whole entire life. So I knew something was going on, but I just didn't know what.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's an amazing
feeling. Anyway, like we're in separation right now, so it's been like 2 years, and all throughout these 2 years, I've reached out to I just keeping the communication open, like I'll send him something or, without any expectations, and he hasn't responded at all. And then in February, I wrote him an email, asking if we can get together, and he's still no reply. So, that's the last time I reached out to him. But I feel like I'm struggling with, I guess the fear of losing him is just coming up, and I feel like I need to reach out again just for my own self. So I'm wondering, when do you know if you should reach out, and when do you know when you shouldn't? Like they say,
right.
It's all divine timing, but what if, divine timing was for you to reach out to him, but he's not responding, so what's the point?
Well, if you don't mind, Kalina, I'd like to answer.
You can answer that. The only thing I'm saying is the same thing St. Francis keeps saying, follow the heart. But you go and take this.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what my guidance tells me. And I'm just going to allow myself to just kind of go into, because I felt very strongly that, all right, you're in a situation of separation. And when that happens, it is because there is work that both people need to do, okay? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when you feel that pull, it may be because you sense that there are things that he needs, support with, or you may feel the things that he's going through. You may feel them. You may feel him pulling. But I have to tell you, there's a period of time that people need to go through where they have to see for themselves what is there. And I feel very strongly guided to tell you that. You've reached out several times and there's been no response back. That is probably because he's at a period of time where he is trying to keep himself in his own power, in his own situation, whatever it is that he has going on. Now, I can say this very definitively. The divine masculine right now of the twins, and this is providing you are twins and that he is a twin, but you know what? I'm going to throw that out. I'm going to say, overall, I'm hearing, the divine masculine is rising right now very, very strongly in the masculine, okay? The divinity. They are literally starting to get it. I have had firsthand experience in conversations this week with men, both twins and non-twins, who are literally going through what we went through over the last several years, where they're stepping into their own power, where they're clearing stuff that bothered them, where they're becoming conscious of the fact that they can be happy, that they can step into their own knowing, that they can look at karmic partners and say, wow, I wasn't happy. Okay, I need to do something different. There's so much going on right now with the divine masculine. What I'm being guided to tell you is listen to your heart. You're always going to want to listen to your heart. But a lot of times our desire to reach out is because we want to take control. We want to control the situation. What I'm being very strongly guided to tell you is let go of outcomes in the situation. And this may be a time to really continue to focus on your own self right now and your own happiness while he is completing something. I mean, I'm just getting that he's completing something, that there's something that he's very focused on, and that it's almost as if he needs to be without you at this point to see what he needs to see. And I'm not ever one to give very strong definitive stuff, but that comes up very strongly for me. And to know, and the reason why I say that is because I've seen so much of this divine masculine, like this huge shift. And I almost feel like we need to let them go through their shifts. We need to let go. I'm doing that in my very own way. Time to let go and let them do what they got to do, because they're going to come to the conclusions that they need to come to on their own. And what you can do, see, I always feel that when there's a pull, if I'm being pulled, I think a lot of people think, I'm feeling the pull of my twin, they want me, and all this stuff. And I'm starting to see it a little bit differently. It's almost like when you're feeling the pull, what is it inside of you that's feeling the need to be with them?
Right.
What is it inside of you that's feeling that insecurity that, they're going to forget me, they're going to go away, they're going to be with someone else, and they're going to find happiness, and they're going to just abandon me. It's almost like these little feelings of abandonment that we deal with, the pull. I talked about it in one of our shows, the rubber band. There is something that exists between twins where they kind of tug on each other just a little bit, and everybody feels kind of a little bit of pull. But there's also the situation where you know that you're in a separation period for a reason. And I don't know why, but I feel guided to say there's stuff that you need to focus on right now. There's some things going on right now that are very important for you to be focused on. And you can keep this love. I mean, you know the love. There's no love like that. You know what I mean? But if you know the love, it's almost like you have to keep going into your heart center to remember that love and have faith in that love and not allow yourself to talk yourself out of the little mind wants to, the little self, the mind wants to get in there and talk you out of it. Oh, no, you know, I'm hearing all this, and that's the pull. I got to make sure he's still there. I got to make sure he knows that I still care about him because he might not think that I care about him, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing of this. It's this dynamic that I understand really well. It's this almost like being a slave to one another. You got to make sure the other person knows you're there. Don't, you know, the insecurity. You don't want him to feel insecure because if he thinks I'm gone and he doesn't think I'm there, then he's going to want to go on his merry way, blah, 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 blah. We go through this. But I feel very strongly that we got to let these guys, divine masculine, I don't mean to be, locking into any of that. We need to let them go through these shifts. They're huge. They're pressing. They're pushing on them. And I'm talking about some guys, and I say guys, the ones I'm talking to are guys that are they're like going, oh my God, I got to get this right. I got to get this. I got to get into sacred union. They're getting it. And these are guys that are, been on a spiritual path seeking. And then I've seen other guys that are just out of divorces going, I'm stepping into my power. I'm going to let go of my spouse. I'm going to let go of all of that because that's not making me happy. I didn't realize I wasn't happy. It's at all levels. So bear with that. We got the Lion's Gate going on right now, people. I mean, this is a big, huge thing. Colleen, you probably have got something to say about what's happening now energetically. But I will just end by saying, trust this process. Don't deny your heart. But when you go into your heart, you ask yourself, am I asking if I want to reach out because I want to secure him and make him feel secure that I'm not gone? Or do I really feel that it's time, he's ready? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to do. Like I was meditating on, like, is it just my ego? And I know it's just a fear, like you said. It's just a fear of just.
You can't lose each other. You can't lose each other. If you're twins, you know what? I want to say this too. None of us can lose each other. We're all one. None of us can lose each other. Right. We can't. If we want to be separate, we can't really be separate. We are all one, and that goes with a twin. So if we can let go of that fear of separateness and feel at one with all.
How long do I have to wait? Does anybody know?
But you planned it. There's no such thing as time. Focus on you and focus on the beauty and joy of your life. And you may find some really interesting surprises as you go. And you'll be like, oh, you know what? I think I could postpone that a little while because I got this thing going on that is really taking my attention right now. There's no magic time frame. I wish there was. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. That would be great. But
oh, right?
Yeah, that would be like, gosh, if we all knew what's the magic date we're going to be together with this magical connection of ourselves. Well, if we all knew that, we'd all be very, very wealthy. Okay, Lena, what did you want to add to that? Anything in terms of like what's happening right now with divine masculine?
Well, you and I were talking earlier, and we were saying that, all the things that the feminine have gone through in these past, we've been going through a lot for the past, as long as you and I have been alive. Everything's been shifting and stuff as we've been going through these shifts all our life. But the men are beginning to experience it, but they're experiencing this much faster than we had to because we had to do a whole lot of other work to raise the divine feminine, to ground it into the earth and raise that consciousness and bring the feminine back so the patriarchal control changes. So the first thing that they've had to do is they have to start letting down their guard with the patriarchal control and start allowing their feminine side, stepping into their feminine part, all in the Sacred Heart, balancing that masculine and feminine energy, which is very important. And what they are working on right now is that part of their process. And they can't focus on doing that. And for some of them, it's hard, They don't want to do it. They don't want to bring the feminine side in. They don't want to let go of that patriarchal control part because they feel like, they've been so programmed that that's how you're supposed to be because of a man. It's very confusing for them. So many of them need to have that space to go in and just be and allow things to happen, allow these shifts to take place. Just like, and Deb, you and I were talking earlier, we're like, you and I went, all the women, we've gone through all these things. They're having to go through it too. They're just going through it in a different way, but they're getting the same results. But again, look at how many of us need our sacred space. Of us that are the divine feminine, we needed our space. Look at me. I have my own sacred space. You, Deb, you have your sacred space. Even though you're in the house, you have your sacred space. And you have that.
And we're all finding out we need it. We need our sacred space. All of us. The ones of us that have been doing all our work, it's like, whoa, I couldn't handle it if someone wanted to jump right in and say, oh, let's play house. I'd be like, whoa, no.
Right. And for me, I just, I personally, I live by myself, and I'm divorced, but I have 2 teenagers that are in and out of here all the time. But if I don't have that quiet space, I can't handle my light, who I am, my higher self and my light body. I can't handle it energetically. So we're all changing. It's not just the emotions changing and the mentality of things, but the physical body's changing. The crystallization process is, I believe it's almost complete. And so much is changing that people don't understand. There's all these light codes coming in from the sun and all of the shifts and everything all are creating us as and shifting us to the higher beings, to the higher selves that we are in our highest vibration of light and in our highest vibration of love. And all of this has to happen in our own space. If we're constantly with the other person and not allowing them their space, you go into that volcanic eruption because there's so much going on within you that you don't understand, and it just makes things harder and harder. So even though you're not physically together, you're always together energetically, okay? So remember that. You're always together beyond the veil. You just physically, right now, are in 2 different places. They allow the other to go through all of the changes and shifts that they have to so that you can both come together eventually. And it will happen when you're ready. Not before.
Is it possible that, that he'll never be ready?
No. Everybody's going through ascension. This is the ascension process, and every soul is ascending. Every single soul is ascending.
Yeah, if you guys are twins, I've got to say, I'm beginning to really believe that. If you're really twins and you came in here on that path, it's not that nothing can thwart that. Everybody has free choice, but you got to see, they're a perfect reflection of you. They're a perfect reflection of you. If they're not ready, you can guarantee you're not ready. I can tell you that right now. It doesn't matter how ready you are. If you are not with them and you're not actually in like that connection, it's because neither one of you are ready, or you both would be there. Period. It's just because they're a perfect reflection of you. So there's a reason why you're not supposed to be together right now, and that could change tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That can change in a heartbeat. So it's not, it's nothing is set in stone. It's in your blueprint. It's what you've decided to do. It's what you've decided to come in to do. So I just say be patient and really, really try to let go and allow yourself to really focus. Like I said, you've got some things going on in your life right now. I'm not exactly sure what it is. They're for you. There's stuff for you to do. And, don't wait,
Yeah.
Don't wait. Yeah. Well, we have a couple more people. It is quarter to 11. We have 3 people in the queue.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Regina.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in and hope to speak with you again. Thank you.
I'm going to pick the next one that was in line, Deb, okay?
Okay, absolutely.
So I'm going to grab Sherry. Hello, Sherry. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you? Hi, guys.
Good, how are you?
I'm really
Sherry.
good. I would like to ask a question about sex, if that's okay.
Well, we like
of
questions about sex. I knew Kuthumi would
great.
say, of course.
Kuthumi, stood up.
Okay.
Oh, no
Here
picture
it is.
Oh, God.
Okay,
This
yeah.
has been going on.
Question, Sherry.
This has been going on since December, okay? I have just been hit with these intense sexual energies. Yeah. And I don't know, and they don't even feel human. They are so beyond anything I've ever experienced. I just have to, stay home. I cannot even leave the house. I'm not kidding.
I have a friend that's like that, too. Yeah.
Crazy. And I don't know whether it's just Kundalini energy, part of my ascension, or if it's connected to my twin, but stuff is happening physically that is, I will not go into the details, but crazy stuff that doesn't normally happen with women. I'm like, what is this? This is insane.
Well, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Oh, no.
I'm not complaining.
Well,
believe me.
no. All right, my darling. Let me ask the questions now. Deborah, do you remember our conversation earlier?
Yes.
Oh, should we get into that one?
Okay.
No. Debbie, no. No.
Okay,
no.
No, okay. Okay,
No,
Selena
Kuthumi.
says she does protest too much. Kuthumi.
All right. Let me see now. So your physical body is experiencing grand efforts of sexual joy. Yes?
Yes.
All right. And it is not because you are participating in a physical pleasure.
No.
I love him.
It is spontaneous.
And it is, yes, I know. And do you understand? And do you understand the cosmic orgasm? Kalina explained earlier.
I think that happened once. I was around the solstice, December solstice. I was having visions of my twins, felt like they were there. I didn't know if this was astral sex or what this was. But in that instance, it was sexual ecstasy and divine bliss all at the same time. And that felt like a cosmic orgasm. But since then, I have not had the divine part. I've just had the sexual part without the divine bliss, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I understand. So is it coming from the lower chakra region and going up the spine?
I don't feel it go up the spine. I just feel it in my sacral chakra.
You feel it in the sacral chakra?
Mm-hmm.
Where the sexual desire...
Yeah. It just feels like super intense sexual desire.
Well, may I ask you, are you in a connection with your twin?
Yes. We did not see each other for about a year, and then we started seeing each other again a month ago but we're not being physical. We're just starting to see each other again as friends.
Now,
you
need to
I'm feeling this.
Yes. Understand this. Energetically, if he is thinking of you in a desirous way, it can affect you.
Okay. It's actually a woman. We're both women.
Okay, well then she will affect you. It doesn't matter. You're androgynous beings anyway when you get up to the higher realms, and that's where you're participating. This is cosmic, all right? So listen, if she is thinking of you at the time, in that desirous way, if it's a connection in the sacral chakra, you are feeling it because you are so interconnected. You're connected soul to soul, but she can connect just by thought to your chakra, and you can experience the cosmic orgasm. Now, the reason you don't have the bliss feeling and stuff like that is because you are probably not connecting the heart, the third eye, and the crown at the same time. It may just be the thought process on the sexual desire. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do I need to learn to do that? Connect the heart to this?
Well, sure. Why not? It's like Tantra. You don't need to learn it. Kalina does it with her twin. She didn't have to learn it. Oh my God! It always just like blabs.
Giggles.
Everything. God, get to me. It is all right. She had an orgasm that was like 1,000 times better than a physical one, and we've already discussed this before. Yes, thank you, Kuthumi. And that is what you experience when you connect the heart. You will connect actually the solar plexus, the heart, the third eye, and the crown. Okay? There is a difference. All right? Mm-hmm. And those connections take you into that higher bliss to 0 point, okay, where you have this cosmic orgasm that is just so outside of yourself, and you are in the infamous feeling of like you are, well, you actually are, tiny particles of nothingness, but you feel everything. It's like you feel the orgasm of every single soul, okay? Mm-hmm. That is cosmic orgasm. Okay. Now, the orgasm that you may be feeling, or that it's from the sexual desire because of the thought process of your twin thinking of you at that time, and it affects your body because you are interconnected and interweaved. You are the same soul. All right? So, but you're not connecting those other chakras that time.
So am I initiating this? My higher self initiating this back and forth, or is she initiating it, or how does that work?
No, if you are walking around consciously, you are not thinking of it, but she may be. Okay. You're so connected that you're feeling what she is thinking. You see?
Okay.
But if neither of you are consciously thinking of it, then it is your higher fifth dimensional self in their own little process of union. You see? If that is making sense?
Yeah.
But most likely, when it is that higher fifth dimensional, you will be connecting the other chakras as well. You would not only be connecting the sacral.
Okay.
So one of you is conscious of it.
Okay. Oh, boy.
And it is okay. Go on.
It's okay. I was just going to say it's funny because it makes me, the pull so much stronger being drawn to her, but then on the other hand, I'm like, hey, I'm having a good time over here without you. I don't need this. But I mean, like, dang, this is great.
I hear you.
This is great.
Yes. And you know that Kalina has never experienced hers in the physical. She has only experienced it energetically. So, because they are a long distance away. But that is truth, because what that is showing you is that you are never separate. So all of you can get that out of your minds. That is ego. You are never separate. You are always together. You are always one because you are the same soul. You are one unit coming down in two. Right. That shows you.
Okay. Yep. Great.
Shows you.
Okay.
There is no separation.
Thank you so much. I'll let you get your question. That was my question. Thanks so much, ladies. Love your show.
Thank you, Carrie.
All right.
Okay. Thanks for calling in. All right.
Sure. Bye-bye.
I get to pick the next one. That's what I'm going to pick. You can't hop
you
in there.
You knew, well, she was next. She was next.
Yeah?
Hello.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
How are my lovely ladies? I love
Hi,
you.
sweetie.
Aw, love you too.
Oh, we love you.
So glad.
I
I'm
sing
so
and
glad
dance to you.
Aw.
Oh, I'm so glad she asked the question about sex because I was I didn't know what was going on.
Well, I am so happy too.
I was like, oh dear. I said, is that really a download?
Do you have a question about sex too you would wish to ask me, Carol? We were discussing some things earlier with Deborah that maybe she would like to participate in telling you.
Here's the thing, just like you were was being described just a little while ago. I have felt the same sensation, and at first I didn't know what was going on, and then I realized, my twin is, far away, and so usually it happens when it's his sleep time.
And then I know, okay, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. I figure he's in his dream state, you know. And then there have been times, just like you just
Oh, no, he is not in his dream state. He is in your bed. Or not in your bed, but you know, he's trying to get you in your bed.
He is on the right side. He does have the right side of the bed. I know.
Well, and I am on the left, so it's okay. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Okay, Carol, go on. Do you have a question for me, my darling? Did we lose Carol?
I don't know, Carol, did you mute your phone or something? We do that all the time. Colleen always mutes her phone while we're talking.
I do by accident. She must have muted hers.
I'm sorry, I'm still here.
Okay.
Are you there?
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah, there she is.
Okay, so you know, that whole thing, I finally figured it out, and so I kind of felt like maybe my boundaries were being, only because, you know, as far as I know, he's in a karmic relationship, so part of me started going off into a tangent. He's with somebody else, and he's thinking about me. Oh, no, you can't, you know, if you don't go into my heart space, you know, none of this. So I kind of went that way. But the other day, I've been talking to Marcy. Marcy and I, you know, from the conference, I've been talking a lot. She's on the phone right now. She's on the phone.
Marcy!
Oh, tell her hello. Tell her hello.
And so what happened was we were talking and we were laughing, having a great time, and guess who came into the conversation through Marcy?
No.
My twin.
No.
Wow.
So he says, he's screaming at her, and she's trying to hear him, but he's saying, pink, pink, tell her pink, P-I-N-K.
Right.
And I'm like, what? I'm with Marcy. I said, what? And so Marcy says, go talk to her. Go. Why are you talking to me? Just go talk to her. And so he says, she won't let me talk to her. So,
well,
because, you know, I'm in the point where I'm saying, okay, let it go. You go do what you need to do. And I'm off doing, you know, great things. I feel like I'm going in a great direction because I feel like he's always with me. I mean, I know he's in the car with me. He's all over the place with me. So I'm like, okay, this is, you know, I really need to attend to myself here, okay? I said, you need stuff. We're not together because you're just not doing your stuff. Go do your stuff. So I guess that's why he told Marcy she won't talk to me. So... And I told Marcy, I said, well, no, he can talk to me, but he has to come to my heart. I need to know it's him talking to me. And, you know. I
have something, Carol, I have something for you that's really important. It can't wait. It's like when Kalina gets those voices. She's got the people talking and she's got to do the light language. Listen, something has come to light from the divine masculine. I have a brother of the light that is literally from my same monad, and he is about as close as a twin vibration as you can get, and he's part of he is actually part of my twin connection. He and I have been doing work together on our twin connections, okay? Now, he has made me see very, very clearly something that is keeping the divine masculine away from the divine feminine. And I want every one of you that's a divine feminine right now to listen to what I'm saying. When we give out the signals that we are not available because they've got their stuff going on, we're sorry. You know, talk to the hand. You have your karmic situation. I'm going over here and do my thing. We are literally bringing in, and he said this, the feminist energy. With the feminist energy, we literally push them away from us saying, oh, you can just go deal with your karmic situations all by yourself, and I don't need anything because I'm okay. What you're really saying is I need to have my defense mechanisms up, and I'm stronger when I'm not with you than when I'm with you.
Okay, okay, got it.
Ding, ding,
got
ding.
it.
All right, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that was really coming strongly.
Thank you, because, I mean, after this whole pink thing and what he said to Marcy, and Marcy's message, you know, him and Marcy are going back and forth, and I'm like, well, tell him to come and talk to me, you know, and I go, and so I said, but he has got to come to the heart, you know, don't go doing your whatever it is you do at night, and then I'm not a part of it. Hello, you know?
Well, you know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I know you're going to say that. Yeah.
The one thing that, like, I think that's, and I've talked about this before, is, and so many of us have our twins in karmic relationships, but when they do come to us or we go to them, we need to embrace the time that we do have with them.
Okay.
Because it is heart connection, because twins do connect soul to soul, and we are connected in the heart always. Yeah.
He's a very busy guy. Whoa.
Well, he can be busy in the third dimension, but he's also obviously busy in your bed. So embrace it, you know? Embrace it.
He's choosing to connect. You know, he's choosing to connect with you in the way that he can. And it's sacred that he's reaching out to you. And if you put up the blocks and you say, no, I don't want you to talk to me this way, I only want you to talk to me that way, is that conditional? Yes, it's very conditional.
Yes, that's conditional. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, ladies. That's so good. But the whole pink thing, and then we have Kalina. She posts about pink flowers. And all of us, because I'm going back with Marcy, back and forth. I said, Marcy, I only have a nightgown that I can think of that's pink. Is it that he's saying he likes my pink nightgown? I don't know. so I mean, we were just laughing at what was going on. And, you know, because we're trying to understand. But then I saw the pink flowers, and then I saw that, you know, they were the intuitive roses, and there's something about roses. There's a connection between him and I regarding roses.
Yeah.
And so I thought, you know what, and I read the message. I thought I read it real well, and it did give me that feeling inside like, you know what, you need to, Carol, look at the way you're doing things, and you may need to change your perspective about things, you know?
That's it.
Pardon me?
We're right now, that's exactly when I wanted to talk about that. You know, we didn't get a lot of chance to talk about it because we really wanted to take calls, and we had a lot of people on here. But really, that's what's happening with the divine masculine. I got you know, this person that's in my life is like a surrogate for my twin. He steps in every single time the twin steps back. He steps in spiritually when the twin can't. And he called me on it, and he said, you know what? He says, you're talking the divine, you're talking feminist energy, and that's pushing us away. And he's dealing with it in his own connection. And see, these guys right now, they're going through so many shifts. The last thing they need is for us to put up the roadblocks. That doesn't mean we step out of our choosing for self, choosing what's best for us, and not just going and running after them. I don't mean that, but we definitely take down those blocks. You guys, we're keeping them from us when we do that.
Okay, yeah, that's.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
But you know what, Carol?
When we talk about perspective, I said he's trying to tell me something, and I'm not getting
it.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you understand. Even though I put those roses up with the little thing, that the explanation of the intuitive roses underneath, he was using that picture for you. That's why I always keep saying everything's in alignment. Yes. I knew that I was putting those there for a reason, for something, but I didn't know who it was going to affect and how it would.
Yeah.
And look at how he took that. How fantastic is that? How in tune the energy is.
That is fantastic. And I immediately went into my heart space, and I called him in, and we had that talk, you know, and oh, dear.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is
amazing. Yay! It just shows you everything's happening. Yay, shifting. Good.
I know, and I'm thrilled about it. I'm totally.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling in. It was so good to talk to you again. I'm sure we'll talk to you. Yay. All right, we're going to get Love you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we're going to get to take one more call. Let's see. Hang on. Okay. Now this is M. Hello?
Well, that be Marcy. Hello,
I
lady.
figured, Marcy. I figured that was you, Marcy, but I didn't know your last name.
Well, who the hell would expect a name like Burtonberger to belong to my podcast? Come on.
I love you. Gosh, I love you too. Oh my God. See, this woman really needs to have her own show. Marcy needs to have her own show. The experience we had with her and her twin at this conference was just unbelievable. And you guys changed my life forever, just sharing the way you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, I will come on your show.
No, I love Kuthumi. I love you guys.
And I love you.
You know,
we can have let's have the Marcy and Kuthumi hour. Yes?
Oh, no, I'm not. No, Kuthumi, have me on the floor.
I know.
Well, what's going on, Marcy?
Well, I wanted to say the conference was phenomenal. Thank you guys for everything that you've done. And I think that during this entire session tonight, I wanted to just mention, because I listened to, it seems like the majority of the speakers were not in unison, when I say unison, totally with their partners. I can tell you, I don't consider myself in full union, if you will, meaning we're cohabitating, if you will. I do, and you guys know me and my significant other. I could tell you 49 years of knowing someone and recognizing from that very young age, and then separating for 30 years, just like Kalina and Deb were saying. You know, you got to be grateful for the lives that we've lived, because they were lessons that we were supposed to learn and come back and do something with it. I think it's so important, because Kalina mentioned to me, and Deb, Carol, I spoke a little bit with Michelle, but the group that was here in Chicago that's on this call now, they know or understand what I'm talking about when I say that Kalina really emphasized, and I thought it was beautiful, and I didn't hear you really emphasize it during this call, Kalina, so I just wanted to kind of nudge you to talk about that a little bit when you said everybody has their own timing. And even though we're twins, these were your words that you said to me, even though you are twins, it may take me a day to realize I'm not fighting with God. I don't need the wheel here. You take the wheel. You drive. It's on you. Whereas you may have a mate who is so deeply embedded in this 3D world, which my mate is, and I believe he is, it takes him a little bit longer. It takes them a little bit longer. So if we don't have the patience and that high level of energy, like you're constantly, Deb and Kalina, the ones that are on the call that's encouraging us, you really miss the boat. And I wanted to also mention to Kalina before you speak to that, if you would please, you and Deb, with everything that's going on, I wanted to tell you guys, everybody that's on the call, they couldn't be so more in their truth when they tell you about what's transitioning, what's going on now. I am in communications with my beau, and it's a remarkable. From the time we had the conference, he has completely changed. It opened his eyes. He's never not wanted to talk about himself in front of nobody. That was the most authentic him that was ever expressed in my presence. I felt it, but I never heard it. So you guys in that environment, in that high-level energy, really pulled that out of him. And with what's going on now, I will tell you, I did exactly what I was encouraged to do, and what our hosts are trying to encourage everyone that's attending this call, is you got to love yourself first. And you also have to look inward, and you have to do that healing. You can't skip these phases. They are telling you the truth. And when you start loving yourself and you leave your twin, which doesn't mean literally separation, because Kalina and Deb have said that 50,000 times, at least it seems that many, to be supportive. Don't give up. Go to the heart. Go to the soul. I will tell you, I could never imagine letting and releasing my Bruce. I never in a lifetime. And I will tell you that dark night of the soul to release has been the most rewarding. I've been knowing him, I told you, 49 years. And this week, and actually yesterday and today, Kalina and Deb and everybody on the call, I've heard him say things that I'm like, shut the hell up. Where did that come from? Oh, my God.
Well, be careful what you wish for.
I mean, it was exactly all the things that I've been desiring and wanting to hear. And it's like, who stuffed them damn words in your mouth? But you know what it is? I turned away. And all of a sudden, another friend of mine that I hadn't talked to, I kid you not, in at least 25 years, messaged me, and it's like I started remembering it. All of a sudden, I get this call from my beau. He's called me 6 times in one day. That's a damn miracle. I am here.
I understand. I can totally relate.
He shifted.
Yeah.
So I want to just turn it back to you and Deb to say that I think it's so important that we all really, really put it in our hearts. It's their timing, and it may take them longer. And just because we're faster, women are ordinarily faster learners anyway. I think that's why we have the lead. I think that we're stronger emotionally to deal with these things. So you really have to know that even though you look and you think, how can he be my twin? There's no way in hell I would be acting like that. Well, guess what? You better look again. So thank you all very much. I love you guys, and you all are so, so inspirational. I kid you not.
Marcy, I got to say,
so are you.
Marcy, you and Bruce need to be teachers. When we get through all this, you're teaching. You know why? Because you have the same thing that Kuthumi has. You have the ability to create laughter. You have the most incredible personality. You really, when I say you need your own show, I mean it. I mean, you just have the most incredible connection. And the two of you, that is what I said changed me. To see Bruce come forward and say some of the things that he said about his conditioning and open up to a group of people sitting in a circle and to move everybody the way he did. It was spellbinding, and I'm just telling you, you have some teaching to do, and you have an incredible personality to do that with. And I hope that you'll think about that in the future because, you bring such joy and such laughter and you have this very humorous way of making light of the situation, which is not a light situation at all. I know what you've been through has been hell and back. But the way you approach it with such humor and such, just such big-heartedness. And it's 11:11 on my computer right now. So that's the universe speaking to you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and also, may I say something?
Okay.
All right. You're only just a small part of me, my dear, and that is why you're so funny.
Yeah, he's going to take credit.
I am just kidding. I just wanted to say that to make that. Marcy, go on.
Kuthumi, something made me go and look you up just yesterday, and I was like on the floor, and it'll take 30 seconds for me to tell you this, Kuthumi. I think that I know that I was being guided by the divine, and I was trying to understand the phases and the stages that we go through within the twin flame. And something told me to go, I don't know how the hell this came up in my mind. It said, I was walking and it said, Tibetan monk. Can you talk to me about that, what that meant, or how that would relate to this group, possibly? What I got from it, and I don't know if it's right, Kuthumi, is that it took Tibetan monks or those that studied spirituality way before it became westernized years where they secluded themselves. And we also, this is what I got, I don't know if it's right, and we as twin flames with guidance like from people like Kalina and Deb and all the ones that were here as a group, it's like we're on a fast track. We are getting downloaded this information. It took them years of study, And we were selected for this, and we volunteered for this. And I think it was trying to make me see that this is not what you think it is. This is far, far. It just emphasized that how big this really is for me.
Well, of course.
Yes.
That is right, and it is what they're trying to show you is that this is the work that you do is for the big picture, and that is what I've explained to Deborah for the last couple years. What has Kalina always said? Write the big picture on a Post-it and put it on your computer, and remember why you're going through all of this stuff. It is not for thyself. We do not serve thyself anymore.
Wow.
We are here to make change for the entire universe. We're here to make humanity and for the Earth's consciousness and for Gaia. It is about the big picture, and you are connecting, my dear, with the monks, the Tibetan monks, because of past life connection. All right? So step back a minute and go into meditation and find out if you came down and lived the life as a monk, or your twin chose to do it, or if you both came down at the same time. And remember that many of the monks from way back then ascended. All right? So think about that. If you go in your heart and you meditate and give the answer to yourself, because I will not tell you, because this is how I taught Kalina for all these years, I do not give her the answers. I always made her go within and find them her.
Wow.
Go in meditation and ask for clarity and see if you were a monk that ascended. And then you will understand why you are back here, my dear. Does that make sense?
Yes. I love you, Kuthumi.
Yeah. Oh, I love you too. We should have our own show, you know. Well, I'll let you have your name first. The Mercy and Kuthumi Hour. Just because I am a gentleman.
I
am a gentleman.
Please,
but you know,
please
Kalina will have to be there.
Yes. No, please say hello to Bruce. Please say hello. Send our love.
Yes, you know what, Marcy, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
When I did the union ceremony on the two of you, with the anointing of the rose oil, did you feel the energies running through you?
Oh, my God. I felt like I was like 9 feet off the floor, and I was like shaking all over the place. I've never in my entire life experienced anything so powerful. I could feel my heart fluttering. It was phenomenal. And when you put your hands on us, it was like unbelievable. It was like electrifying.
Yeah, that was the energy. That was the power of the energies from Atlantis, from working the High Priestess in the Temple of Love. But the same stuff I did there, and I'm sure I did it to you then, I did it to you in Chicago. It was the reunification of your souls, okay?
Wow.
So at that very point, at that moment, the reason I'm telling you this is because I have angels behind me telling me, these are angels of Atlantis behind me telling you right now, they wanted you to know that began his shift that day.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So, yes, and that was very powerful. All of the couples that I did it on, even the anointing of the rose oil on the ones that were there by themselves, that it was very powerful for them as well. But the couples, it was different because it was a union ceremony. So
it was beautiful.
They're standing behind me. They just wanted you to know that. So his shift is going to continue.
Thank you so much. And I just have one other thing that my spirit is pushing me to ask you and Deb to put out. And I think because it was something that really not bothered me, but I think that it would help a lot of the people that are on the phone. I think that not all of the newcomers are aware of how to get into groups so that they have some support instead of suffering in silence. And I think that they're afraid to come forward and reach out to anybody in one of the groups or these videos that they're looking at, even though they shouldn't have that fear. But, you know, it's kind of hard. But I'm being prompted to ask you guys to give advice on how they can get into a group, how they can kind of find their family or some sense of belonging, because it's so important that they get the assistance in somebody that they can, not suffer in silence by themselves.
Well, I can say this. Well, I'm thinking, are you talking about groups like support groups for twins in general? Or you talking about Facebook?
No, say, for example, Deb, you remember how everybody was so excited that we had the conference here in Chicago because they wanted to know that they truly fit in. They weren't crazy, the things they were experiencing. And, if people don't know, I can reach out and talk to Deb, or I can reach out and connect with Colleen, and I don't always have to pay for services. And I think that the true essence of Twin Flames is when we don't pay, but because I saw all of the work and things that I got out of the workshop, I know that you guys have to be funded to do these things, and you already give everything of your heart to do it. But they need to be able to know, like, now I feel like I belong. I can tell you, I promise you, I feel like I belong because I feel like I met my people. I found my people.
Well, this is actually a process that's developing. I mean, you know, this conference, whatever it was a unity group. This was the first of its kind that I'm aware of, where people came together and got to know each other. This is a building block process. I know a lot of people are finding their family and stuff. Facebook groups. There's several Facebook groups. I have my own Facebook group, Heart Connections and Sacred Union. We also are admins and way showers on a couple of different Facebook groups. And we can I'm trying to think of the best way to communicate this information.
So, you know what, why don't you ask, can you ask the very first person that talked on your show today, the one that had the dispute with the mom, her parents.
Right.
Who does she go and talk to? Who does she feel comfortable? Is she still on the call? I don't know. But she's the one that prompted, I guess, my spirit to push me to make sure I got that in today. It was from her.
You know what? Yeah, and you know what, Marcy? It is true, because there's not a lot of places that have the groups where you can actually talk, but just this radio show to begin with Deb and I, we started this in the beginning of the year in January. This is bringing people together, and people are, this is a place you can come and talk. But also, as we are doing these workshops, people are going to start coming together and meeting each other in these groups and being able to come back together themselves without us there and making their own connections. Which is great, because some of the big Twin Flame groups on Facebook, there's so much on there that's just so much drama and stuff, people don't even want to be on there. And I understand that. And there's a lot of people that aren't even on Facebook. So what Deb and I are doing have been trying to create this with the radio show to try and start getting people to come together. And as we're working, as Deb and I are working on the ascension process for everyone, and also, it's for the Twin Flames as well. And going to these, her and I have been talking about, where to go next. I'm personally going to England in September. So that's the next spot for me. And we're going to be, wherever we're going, it's going to be a collection of these people that need to get together and start their own groups. So as far as where can you go to find these groups? I don't know right now. Like that.
Right. I was going to say that's a great question, Marcy, because what we're doing is we're starting to create that community. And I said, what I can see us doing is continuing to add people. Like you were talking to Carol. I mean, this is how we find each other. This is the other thing. We have to understand that our soul has a way of bringing us together with those people who we're meant to be with. Why am I friends with Kalina? Why are we close? Why are we sisters of the light? Well, I'll tell you why. I saw some of her poetry, and right now, sometimes the only way I read her stuff is if Kuthumi reads it to me. It's terrible.
So would you like me to read one?
Yes, please. No.
What? Yes.
But
I'm going to read one.
But wait.
You go.
But.
Right.
Shush. What I'm trying to say is that, what was I saying? You just blew my whole
I know.
No, stop it. No, what I guess what I'm trying to say is that, this is a process that's evolving, but you were talking to Carol. You've become friends with Carol because you made the connection. Our souls know. So I know what I was going to say is, how did I know Kalina? Well, I saw her poetry, I saw her face, and I said, she's someone who I resonate with. And how did we ever stumble upon this kind of connection? Who knows? But we've been friends for lifetimes. We've been compadres for a long time. We're here in service together. We're very different people. I mean, we're very different, but there's something that draws us together to do the work we're doing. You're going to find your people. All of you are going to find your people. Your soul is going to push you to find. We're going to do what we can to facilitate what our inner knowing tells us to do to bring people together as much as we can. You know? Don't have the answer.
Well, that's beautiful. And
may I say something? May I say something? It is a soul connection. It is a soul connection. You will find the right people because it is a soul connection. It is your soul families that you find. And it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
You will find them. But there are people like Helena and Deb and Marla and the others that will also bring you together by the things that they're doing outside of their homes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great thing. And then, as you said, not having to go to places where you have to pay. Well, yes, that's understandable too. And as Kalina said earlier, money came out of their pocket to do what they did. They didn't make any money from it. So you see, still, even though money came out of your pocket, all it did is cover the expenses of the hall and stuff, and everybody still came together and they made lifetime friends, and these lifetime friends are eternal friends that they've had from before, which is you and me and her and him and we. We're all one. So you're all going to make these friends, and it's going to continue. This process will continue. All right?
Mm-hmm.
It will happen as everyone is divinely guided. So
Divinely
now that I have said that, may I ask a question? Ladies, may I ask a question? All of you?
Yeah?
May we end the show today with Kalina's poem that she has just written for the Twin Flames.
Absolutely.
I would love to read it.
Absolutely.
Do you want to hear it, Marcy?
Absolutely.
All right, I will read it in my voice because it sounds much better.
He does. He reads her stuff like there's no tomorrow. I mean, it is incredible. I think I'm in love with you, Kuthumi. You just read the love poetry so wonderful.
I know. So sip your wine and I will read. And I know you love me too, Marcy. It is okay. Don't tell your twin, though. All right, so she has written a poem. Remember, everything of hers comes from highest self, but she has key codes in her poetry, so listen very carefully. All right? And this one is titled, You Are My Key. Here we go. My love for you unveiled in the twilight of the stars, and the warmth of our kiss forever in bliss as you hold me in your arms. I see you again as I have lifetimes before. You bring comfort to my soul. There is no pain in our hearts. Surrender our love forevermore. Standing equally beyond the veil, constant at your side, my love for you continues to grow. In my truth, I will never hide. We share one soul in love's pure flow. Our hearts beat in sync with the drum. Never shall I walk away, and never will you run. Remember why we came, my darling. Wake up and see who I am. I am only you, and you are me, together here to ascend. I rid myself of all the layers, built life after life. No pains in the heart, no hate I hold, only pure love as from the start. We walked many lives as one, together in God's pure grace. Forever shall I feel you, my love, each time you call my name. You are my key to eternal love, as I am yours for you. Rise up in truth of your love for me, as I have risen, my love for you. There are key points in that poem. There are key awakening codes in there. And it is all the ascension process, if you listen and if you wish to read it again. But that's what her poetry does. And I would like to step back.
Can you do it one more time? Please, Kuthumi. Cool, please.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes, one more time.
All right. My love for you unveiled in the twilight of the stars, in the warmth of our kiss forever in bliss, as you hold me in your arms. I see you again as I have lifetimes before. You bring comfort to my soul. There is no pain in our hearts. Surrender our love forevermore. Standing equally beyond the veil, constant at your side. My love for you continues to grow. In my truth, I will never hide. We share one soul in love's pure flow. Our hearts beat in sync with the drum. Never shall I walk away, and never will you run. Remember why we came, my darling. Wake up and see who I am. I am only you, and you are me. Together, here to ascend. I rid myself of all the layers, built life after life. No pains in the heart, no hate I hold, only pure love as from the start. We walked many lives as one, together in God's pure grace. Forever shall I feel you, my love, each time you call my name. You are my key to eternal love, as I am yours for you. Rise up in truth of your love for me, as I have risen, my love, for you.
That is so beautiful.
Yes, I just love when Kuthumi reads poetry. I'm serious. There have been many times that I've just laughed. I know, giggle. But seriously, he'll just sit and read poetry to me. I feel like sometimes one of the most blessed people in the world to have Kuthumi is a teacher, but he is here for.
Can I ask Kuthumi a question?
Of course.
It seems to me, the poem is absolutely
being here. This has been an incredible night. I couldn't have asked for a more enjoyable Friday night. I would do this all the time. If I had the time, I would do it. But
I can't hear Mercy. She was asking something, but I can't hear what she was saying.
I was asking Kuthumi. Can you hear me, Kalina?
Yeah.
I was asking Kuthumi. It seems from the beauty in the words that, like you said, that there were key codes there. When I listened to that, I felt as though you were painting our whole journey just in that poem, in the poem itself. And it kind of gave us, I think, the key codes on things that we must do in order to have that unison. That's what I was deriving from that. Is that on target?
Yes, that's how I write. Everything that I write comes from my highest self. Okay. And it all comes with key codes and light codes and things that will awaken parts inside of you as you read my poetry.
Wow.
That's what I do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Wow. It's been an amazing night. I want to say I'm sorry to the people. There were several people still in the queue that we could not get to, and I am so sorry. We actually went a half hour over tonight. And it was so wonderful to be back with you guys. I would, like I said a minute ago, I would do this over and over again because I enjoy being with all of you so much. And I know Kalina I know you do too. So we've got to do this again real soon. We're not going to wait this long next time, are we? So,
unless you're moving again.
Oh, I'm not moving well. No. No, I've got to settle and
and even when I go to England in September, we can still do it because I can just do it from there unless you're going to follow me. So
I was going to say unless I end up in England as well. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. All right, Carol. Well, listen, everybody, thank you so much. What we're going to do now is we're going to open up the line like we always do just so everyone can have a chance to say goodnight. And thank you. God bless you guys on this journey.
We love you.
You're doing wonderful. We know you're all doing wonderful. In my heart, I know this. So love you all very much. I'm going to unmute, and we're going. All right, and now we're. So everyone can just say goodnight to each other. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Love you.
Thank you. Love
Have
you.
a great weekend.
Love
You too, guys. Love you all.
Sleep tight, everyone.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Right here.